Hey guys, this is Meteor, back at it with part 2, or maybe this is part 3, I don't yet know, because the last part that I did ended up being pretty long, almost a full hour of gameplay. But yeah, I was planning on doing some more immediately after I stopped, but then I ended up not doing it. I'm recording this video on the next day. But yeah, we're going back to Civ 5, just to keep teaching you all how this game is played, give you all some tips. Now, where was I going with this settler? Yeah, I was trying to see if I could get my worker out before I get this city settled. The reason for that is every time you settle a city, I believe it gives you 3 or 4 unhappiness. And I don't want to go unhappy because that would be bad for my empire, because you always want to keep your empire happy. But I might actually end up doing it regardless, just so you guys can see what it's like and what happens when you are unhappy. Yeah, I will probably do that, and it's not gonna be much of a big deal or anything anyway. So I will probably do that. We're just continuing to explore, because you always want to be exploring, meeting other players, and the reason you want to be meeting other players is because here in this research info, let me see if I can maybe find anything. Cost 58, 58. Yeah, you see here masonry is 55, but all the other ones cost 58 science. That's because one of the other players has already discovered masonry. So if one of the other players has already discovered masonry and you've already met them, it lowers the costs of the science, of the technology, basically. So by meeting other players, you research technologies faster, and so you want to be meeting other players so you can get these technologies faster. Real simple. But yes, that is why you should be exploring all the time, trying to meet new players. I didn't really have to explore over here, but no biggie. I'm considering settling on this hill right here, and the reason is because when you settle, you get the tile yields of where you settle. So if I settle right here, in this, well, let me just make sure, yeah. If I settle right here, on this grassland, my city will give me 2 food and 1 production, because the city, when you settle it, gives you 1 production. But if you settle on this hill, which already has 1 production, it will give me 2 food and 2 production, because it will give me 1 food, but it doesn't go over 2 food. I believe that's how it works. Now we can adopt another policy. You're gonna get legalism, free culture building in our first 4 cities. Really great policy, helps a ton. As we can see now, if we go to our capital, we have a free monument. And what they mean with free is, well, first of all, they give it to you immediately. I didn't have to spend any time building it. And second of all, is that normally it costs maintenance, -1 gold, as you can see. Right here also says -1 gold from the pyramid, that I'm losing every turn, which is the cost for having this building. But the monument, I'm not going to end up having to pay anything whatsoever. So yeah, that's really useful. I'm just looking at all of this, considering if I should build a great library or not. I really like that wonder, it's a really good wonder to build. I might do it once my worker is finished, to be honest, because I'm gonna have to chop this forest anyway, and chopping forests helps produce wonders, but I'll explain that later. Let me see, what do I want to get? Do I need any camps? Not really. What else do I get from trapping a circus if I have horses nearby? Except I don't, apparently. Well, let's go with masonry. How about that? Can give us a spearman and stuff. It's pretty helpful. Is that a barbarian? Yeah, it's an archer over there. How much experience does this guy have? Let me see. 10 experience. Basically, your units can only level up to 30 experience off of barbarians. If you want to level up more, you need to fight versus units that aren't barbarians. So either units from city-states or units from other players. That's how you level them up. Now my settler, cross the river, get this guy over here, put him on top of the hill for vision. And next turn. Oh, so this guy is definitely trying to go for a fight over here. I was thinking of coming over here, but I don't know who's over there. Can go to this hill, which will give me, as you can see if I hover over this, plus 25% defense by standing on the hill. It's really helpful. You won't have this information if you just have the regular UI, but it will still apply basically. Ooh, natural wonder found. Awesome. I should explore over here more because I might be able to settle next to that wonder. Yeah, these are national wonders. There's just a few of them around the world, as you can see. There's 3 more national wonders to find. And if I settle near this, I get this tile, 2 food and 6 faith, which is pretty big. Now the settler's right over here. We move on top of the hill. Scout can wait. Let's see. Okay, so this archer is definitely hurting us a bit, but I think we'll be able to kill him. Now we'll have to go into Quebec City again, but no, not much of a problem. Now let's see. Found city. As you can see, 1 unhappiness. Cities will only grow 1/4 the normal speed while the empire is unhappy. That's not very good. And the golden production output is reduced by 2% for each point of unhappiness. So we have 1 unhappiness, so right now our gold is being reduced by 2%, and same with the production. We won't notice that because we don't have enough production or gold to notice a 2% difference, but later on you'll definitely notice the difference. Now what do I want to build here? We already have the free monument as well, as you can see from the legalism policy. I'm thinking we go straight for a pyramid, because pyramid is a really good building. Really helps out with science. Oh, also something that I want to teach you guys, if you press F9, you press this here, demographics, it shows you what all the other players are doing. And it shows you who has the best score for each thing. For instance, right now we have the best GNP. I believe that's gold per turn. Yeah, it's 1,000,000 gold. It's your gold income. Land is just the amount of kilometers you have. I have the most right now because I'm probably the only one that has 2 cities. This is like a lower difficulty. It's not too hard to get cities before others. But yeah, as you can see, I am the lowest out of everyone in soldiers because, well, I don't really have any soldiers. I have a warrior, a scout, and my outlaw list. That's all I have. Really not a very big army, is it? But yeah, I will eventually have to make a big army because I do want to conquer La Venta. I want this gold over here. It's real juicy. Wait, Cahokia is being attacked? It's probably by barbarians. Has to be. The unit needs orders? Who? Oh, my scout. Well, I'll have the scout over here because I want to see what's around here and if I can settle next to this wonder. Almaty desires Stonehenge. I don't think I will be building Stonehenge. Also, if you want to use your ranged attack, you can also just press B. That's the shortcut for the ranged attack. It's pretty helpful. I'm just scared if this archer will be able to kill me. How much hit points do I have? 39? No, he won't be able to kill me. Alright, there we go. Got that. Now we move our warrior over here. Now we have our worker. We want him to chop this plantation, or to chop the forest, and make a plantation. Now, do I want to go for the Great Library? Probably do. I don't think anyone's going to get the Great Library before me. So yeah, basically, you see this Great Library, it needs 21 turns to build. 21 turns is quite a lot of turns. I mean, we're only on turn 37 right now. But if some other player finishes the Great Library before I finish the Great Library, I will, like, all those turns building the Great Library will have been wasted. They actually have this thing where the extra production that you put into it gets, like, converted into gold, something similar like that. But it's still not worth it, trust me. You really, if you're going to build a wonder, you have to make sure that other people are not building the wonder. It's actually a trick you can do. You can look at people's capitals and see if they have a wonder being built. I haven't really explored enough of London to see their capital, but
Hello again.
I mean, I could accept an embassy just to make sure. Okay. Yeah, they're not building anything, but if they were building a wonder, you would see like a small silhouette in their capital. You might see it in ours. Maybe not yet. But yeah, you can generally see a little building being constructed, and that's the wonder. I think now you can see it. Yeah, you see over here, this little building? This is the Great Library being constructed. So if Babylon was building the Great Library, I would see that small building right over here. So that's a good indication of whether or not someone is building. But then again, I haven't met all players, so I don't know if other players are building it or not. But I really doubt they are. At this difficulty, they don't normally build it that early. So now if we construct the plantation, it will automatically remove the forest, but let me show you. See it over here? The forest on this tile will be removed, providing 20 production to the nearest city. If you're building wonders in the early game, you want to be chopping some of the forests around your city because that will give extra production towards the building that you're making, so it will make you build the wonder faster. So yeah, I am going to chop the forest. If I told him to do the plantation, he would chop the forest down first anyway, but it's okay. Now we explore more. I'm kind of sad because this city doesn't have any horses around it. Wait, I also just realized I have gold over here. Huh. The problem is gonna take forever to grow to this gold. Because cities, you see, if I hover over it, there's a small gray line around it that was going like, more or less like this. Yeah, see it? That's all the tiles that my city can work, you see? Like, I can work all of these tiles, and I can work until this tile over here. But even if I grow to this grassland tile over here, I can't work it because it's outside of the range of the city. So as you can see, the range of the city over here, the gold is just outside the range. So I won't be able to work this tile, and I can't purchase that tile either. But however, if I have already expanded all the way to the maximum, eventually the city itself will expand to this gold. But it will just take a really long time until it expands to that gold. That's the problem. Yeah, expand over there, not much of a big deal. Let me just see if I can switch around some stuff to give me more production. I'm not growing anyway, so am I still starving if I do this? Yeah, I am. Oh well, it happens. I'll just keep it like it is. No one's building the Great Library right now anyway. Masonry done, so I can build this quarry now for that stone up there. I will just fortify right here. And we move out. I was just letting the warrior be there to fortify. Now I'm just moving him around to explore more. So we're done with masonry. What do we want now? Sailing isn't gonna help me much, other than the trade route, but even then. Can I already make a trade route? Yeah, that would be helpful if I could explain that. Can I buy a caravan? No, I cannot. But the way it basically works is, if you want to make a trade route, as you can see, we have 0 trade routes where you can make one trade route right now. I would make a caravan in one of these cities, and then I would send it either to another one of my cities, to another civilization like Babylon, or to a city-state. And depending on which one I do, it gives me different rewards. Generally, if you're ahead of other civilizations, you do not want to trade with them, because you will be giving them extra science that you already have. You know, if you're trading with someone, the person who has less science receives more science. That's how it works. So if you have more science than Babylon and you're trading with them, Babylon is getting extra science, which you don't want because you're competing with Babylon. However, if Babylon was ahead of me, then I would want to trade with them because then I would be receiving extra science. And the only way to break trade routes is by just declaring war on others. That's how you basically break trade routes. Okay, I was just counting some tiles to see if my range was correct. I think let's just go for archery because after that I can go for the wheel, which is pretty decent tech. Okay, so 2 places desire Stonehenge, but it's Laventa, which I wouldn't fight anyway. Yeah, I don't know about this wonder. I don't see how I'm going to settle here. It seems like there's a lot of mountains around here. Yeah, see, this is also a mountain. I have no idea how I'm going to get there. Another player entering the classical era doesn't matter much. Yeah, see, they're entering the classical era, but that doesn't matter. That just means that they already got 1 tech for the classical era, but as you can see, I have a lot of techs from the ancient era. If we go to demographics, I'm number 1 in literacy. Literacy is science. This 10% means I've completed 10% of the entire tech tree. That's what it means. So you don't have to worry if someone has already entered the classical era or the medieval era or anything. I'm gonna go over here. I can steal this worker. Yeah, this is something that you can do. Is these workers over here, if you want, you can steal them from the city-states by just declaring war on them. It's under the protection of England. Honestly, I don't care. I'm gonna declare war on them anyway. So we're gonna declare war, steal this worker. England is gonna be mad at us. You'll see in a bit. We go next turn. Oh, I met the Zulu. Cool. I'm going to accept an embassy from them. Oh, I'll have to pay them? Okay, let's pay them. I really want to know where they live. Your wanton aggression against Lavette is not going to notice. See? Our apology will jar immediately. No, let's say our affairs are none of your business. Now she's gonna get kind of mad at us, but it doesn't matter. Now what we want to do is we want to get this worker out of the range of the city-state. The cities can shoot 2 tiles away from them. So right here they can still shoot us. If we were to go here or here, they could still shoot us. But if we go here, we're 3 tiles away. So that's where we want to go. And there's a barbarian over here. Oh, the Zulu are right here. So the Zulu are down here. This is where their capital is. Alright, they're actually pretty close to me. I'll have to be careful because these leaders, they all have like different personalities. For instance, Nebuchadnezzar, or whatever you call him, he is really into science and stuff. He's always going to be looking for science. He may declare war on you, but it's never going to be like his priority because he prioritizes science. England is so-so, they're not that aggressive, but the Zulu, they're a really aggressive civilization. They're very likely going to declare war on you or on someone else throughout the ages. Let's see, the wheel, do I want the wheel? Sure. See, he's already asking us to declare war and we've literally just met him. Sorry, we have no interest. I don't want to declare war on Elizabeth just yet. I have the weakest army in the entire empire. Yeah, now we're getting... these guys. This is really annoying. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get out of this sticky situation. I think I'm going to put my worker over here, take my scout like that. Even if the city-state hits the worker, he's not going to die. Oh, they're not even attacking the worker. Awesome. Even better for me. I move here. Now I have this, wait, what did I do? Oh, I was just accidentally pressing the move key. But I want to move this scout. This barbarian can't even shoot at me because there's a hill in front of him. The way this works is, archers can also shoot 2 tiles away, but since there's a hill in front of them, they can only shoot at the hill because they can't reach all the way over here. Because since the terrain is higher, it's basically like harder for them to shoot over, you know, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like a regular, it's kind of like practical thinking, I guess. If in the real world, if there was an archer right here, and there was a hill in front of them, and then there was someone else on the other side, it would be pretty hard to shoot them, you know what I mean? Well, if it was just a plane and there was someone after, you would probably be able to shoot them. See what I mean? That's what I mean. I'm just gonna keep this scout over here. Yeah, I can't actually get this thing at all. It's not even in range. Well, it's range of this city-state. It's not worth conquering this city-state just to get this. Especially when it's 3 tiles away. Gonna cost a lot of money to get those tiles. Right, and this war is gonna have to be careful with La Venta over there. And now this poor scout is gonna have to take some more damage. I can still move them because this is rough terrain and the archer won't be able to catch up to me. Yeah, let's just put this guy over here in our borders. The archer won't be able to get the worker. Okay, so we built the plantation, and we, as you can see, when improved, gives us +4 happiness, and we do have +4 happiness. So that's great. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to chop another forest because I want to speed up the construction of the Great Library. Now, how am I going to get this warrior? I'm just going to keep exploring downwards towards the Zulu. Okay, my outlaw list is fully healed. Start moving. Chop down this forest. Put the worker over here. Perfectly. Perfectly? Just perfect is what I meant to say. We adopt another policy. What do we want? Oh, we could actually go this, so that we finish the Great Library faster. Or this. What do I want? Let me see. If I have 10 turns more, if I get this, it's just gonna lower it by 1 turn. Whatever, let's get aristocracy. Yeah, see, now it's 1 turn faster. You can shoot at this barbarian, so let's do that. Generally, if you want to attack barbarians with your units, because you want that extra experience. Remember how I told you you don't want to level up and stuff? Yeah, you want to do that. But, so if generally, you get more experience points from killing units. So if you can, you want to kill units with your units, instead of killing them with a city shot. Because you want that extra experience for your units. I mean, once you reach 30, which this guy is going to reach very soon, it won't really matter whether or not you're killing barbarians with your city or your units, because barbarians will kind of useless at that point. Now I can get composite bowmen, which I probably will get. Composite bowmen are just better archers, that's all they are. They're pretty good for attacking cities, so I'm probably gonna get that. Because I do want to conquer La Venta. Especially because I want to show you guys and let me see, I will remove the jungle or whatever. I remove the jungle, I don't care. But yeah, I want to show you guys kind of how war works in this game. And how you want to be attacking cities. This guy, keep chopping down that forest. Yeah, see, now we're going to be able to shoot at him. And see what I was saying? Since this guy's right here, even though this guy can shoot 2 tiles away, since there's a hill in front of him, he can't shoot at the barbarian. See, will this kill him? No. Great. Now we move over here 1 tile, because we have the scout upgrade on this archer. I'm actually going to rename him. Because you can rename things in the enhanced UI mod. I'm going to call him Scout Archer. There you go. No. Who needs archers? Oh, actually I have this scout over here. I can just kill this guy. Boom. Extra experience. Perfect. Okay, here's another city of the Zulus. You can see they're expanding pretty fast. A quick tip, if you want to see how many cities someone has, you go over here to trade, you click cities, and you see how many cities he has. This doesn't mean he has 2 cities, this means he has 3 cities, because you can't trade your capital with other people. So if he didn't have any cities, there wouldn't be anything over here at all. You wouldn't even be able to click cities. So since he has 2 here, that means he has 3 cities. For instance, if we go to Babylon, pretty sure he doesn't have any cities. So as you can see, we don't even have the option to click cities. Just a quick tip. That is pretty helpful very often to know how many cities a player has. So you don't attack them, you kill 2 of their cities and you think, yay, that's all there is, and then there's still another city. This thing shows up every once in a while. It's just to give you an idea of who is doing well in terms of food and who isn't. Because the demographics, they only show you the top person, the worst person, and the average, and then they show you your value, so you know where you stand in terms of the other ones. But for instance, I don't know how Elizabeth is doing in terms of crop yield right now. But if like one of those little work things showed up saying these are the people with the best production, I would know exactly how Elizabeth is doing. So right there, it told me how people are doing in terms of population. And or well, surplus food, not exactly population, because I'm the worst in population right now, it seems. Probably because I don't even have a granary, but that's another story. Let me see, what do I want to do now? Okay, so I chopped this forest. The Great Library is gonna be finished pretty soon, so I'm gonna build this quarry. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this scout right now. Let's explore over here. It's a camp right there. Probably La Venta wanted us to eliminate this camp, but since I declared war on them, it doesn't really help much, because I can't do quests for them anymore. Okay, Pyramid's gonna finish in 2 turns. Awesome. I have that extra faith. This over here, you see it says 35 turns. It's 35 turns until we can get our great profit, or rather a chance at a great profit. The way it works is, once you have 200 faith, then there's a RNG chance of you getting a great profit. But generally it doesn't take too long for you to get your great profit at all. So yeah, once I get 2 more faith from that pyramid, I'll be pretty close, or not close, but I will get to the Great Prophet faster. The Great Prophet, I'll explain that later when he shows up. But yeah, he's good. You want to get your Great Prophet, especially if you want to found a religion, because that's what he does. The Great Prophet founds a religion. Okay, so there's still a barbarian over here. This guy is only level 2, so we can kill this barbarian. There's no problem with that. I'll bring the scout over in case my warrior needs help. Just exploring a bit more. Now the warrior can attack. Production into kill. Okay, we finished the pyramid. Now as you can see, before it was 35 turns, now it's only 20 more turns because you have +2 faith. Normally, people can't build pyramids, they can only build shrines, which only give you 1 faith. They don't even give you science. So that's how good the pyramid is. I'm thinking I want to build a granary. That's what I want to build. I have a lot of gold. Should be considering buying some other stuff. Such as these bananas. What happens if I do this? Okay, the Great Library is still 2 turns, but I grow a lot quicker as you can see. Before it was 6 turns until I get my new citizen. Now it's only 3 turns, that's half the time. So that's great. Now we go on to the next turn. Help this barbarian, help my warrior, I mean. Kill this barbarian. This Atlalist can just keep scouting. I don't think there's like anything else over to that side. But here we go, see, we finished the Great Library. Every time you finish a wonder, one of these things pops up. And it tells you exactly what it does, even though you could already see that in the technology screen when you're building it. But yeah, the Great Library is a really good early game wonder. It gives you 1 free technology, provides you with a free library in the city in which it's built, and 2 slots of great works of writing, which is meh. Doesn't really make much of a difference, but I'll explain that when we actually have stuff to put in those slots. Okay, new city state. The quests. The player with the largest faith growth. The leader has 2 and we have 0. Oh, well, we're gonna win this for sure if the leader only has 2. Because this is always 30 turns. And as you can see, there's only 22 turns remaining. So this quest has been going on for 8 turns now. And in 8 turns, the person who made the most faith only got 2 faith. Which must have been in the last 2 turns. We have 5 faith per turn. So in 22 turns, we're gonna get some influence with the city-state, which is great. A hand axe, that's gonna hurt. More people desire Stonehenge. I mean, I could go for Stonehenge and get a ton of faith and have a really strong religion, but I don't even care that much about having a very strong religion. Okay, anyway, we've completed the Great Library, so you can choose a free technology. When you choose a free technology, here's what you don't want to do. You do not want to get the technology that you're already going for. Like this construction, I've been doing this for like plenty of turns now, and it's only 1 more turn. So by getting this, I'm only saving 1 turn. And then meanwhile, if I get ironworking or philosophy, I'll be saving 11 turns of research, which is actually really good. So I'm gonna go for philosophy. And with this, we enter the classical era. As you can see, there's no rush in entering the new eras. Or rather, some civs have bonuses from entering new eras. Our civilization is not one of them. Yeah, this is not looking too good. I'm gonna move our scout just a bit over here, so this guy does not attack us in this turn when we fortify. But he's not gonna fortify, because something that took me a while to understand is if you want to fortify, whether it's fortify and heal or just fortify, you can only do it if you've done nothing else that turn. So you can't move and fortify. Even though we'll say that you're fortifying, you're not fortifying at all. It's just next turn, you'll automatically be fortified. But in this turn, this scout right now, he's not fortified. Now what are we going to build next? I could build a caravan and put it in the other city. That would be nice. Caravan. Let me check their capital, see if anyone's building Stonehenge. No one is building Stonehenge over here. Oh, see? Right here, he's building something. The question is what? I believe this is the Terracotta Army, but I'm not entirely sure. It might be, I mean, what else could it potentially be? Pyramids? Let me see what he's doing. Here, let me explain some stuff about the diplomatic screen, I guess. This is the diplomacy screen. Here you can see all the other civilizations. I don't come here that often, but you can see how they're doing. They get X gold per turn. This is the amount of gold they have right now. These are just strategic resources, their luxury resources. And this is like a city-state screen where you can see stuff about each city screen. It's the deal history. You can see your previous deals. Well, this is the previous deals. These are the deals that are still ongoing, and it tells you when the deal is going to end. Now this is where I wanted to come. Global politics. Here you can see which social policies they're taking. Why does this matter, you may ask? If you come to social policies, to the openers, each one of them has a unique wonder. See, this one unlocks building the Hanging Gardens, this one unlocks building the pyramids, this one the Statue of Zeus, this one the Great Mosque of Jinn. So if I go here to global politics, I see that the Shaka is going liberty, which allows him to build the pyramids, which is exactly what this is. If I didn't know that he was going liberty, I wouldn't know if this was the pyramids. Well, if he wasn't going liberty, I would know that this was not the pyramids, and that it was actually some other wonder. But since he is going liberty, I know that this is the pyramids, which means I don't have to worry about it because I wasn't going to go liberty anyway, so I wouldn't have built the pyramids anyway. So next turn, okay, the hand axe left, that is very good for me. Well, with that I can, I guess, attack this, but I don't think the warrior can kill him yet. Let's try. We do this, and then we do that. There we go. Got the camp. The hand axe, basically this guy is a unit that has one range, so he can only throw his axe like this. But barbarian units are really bad. Like their AI is really bad on purpose. So basically, they can't move and attack in the same turn. I mean, if this was a warrior, he could move all the way to me and attack. Since this is a hand axe, he can only move here and then throw his axe in the next turn. Like next turn, I know he's not gonna attack me. Choose research. What do I want next? Not quite sure what I want next, actually. I could go Hanging Gardens, since I am going tradition. It's a really good wonder. Plus 6 food is a huge amount of food, not to mention the free garden. Let's take that then. Oh, okay, I guess there's more barbarians around. I want to come over here, but this scout more over here. Fortify there, even though he's not actually fortified, but he'll be immediately fortified after. Okay, so Tikal is grown. Let's move these citizens around. I think that's fine. 2 food, 1 production. The only tile that would maybe be better is this one, but I would rather have the 2 food than have an extra gold, because I already have plenty of gold. I just want this extra food for more citizens. Because of the way you increase your science, other than for instance the Great Library, which I already got, like this library over here, it gives me 2.5 science. Why does it give me 2.5 science? Because it gives me +1 science for every 2 citizens in a city, which means that for every 2 citizens that I get, my science increases by 1. And that's the way that you make most of your science, because all the other buildings that you get that give you science, let me see if I can find some over here. For example, the university, it just like a multiplicatively increases your science. So it gives me 33% more science. Or see, the observatory over here gives me 50% more science, etc., etc. All the other science buildings are like that. Well, the university gives you, for instance, 2 science per jungle, or there are these things called specialists, which can give you science as well. But generally, most of your science is always going to be from growth, because it's either going to be from your library, or it's going to be from specialists, which to work specialists, you need extra citizens that you aren't going to put in your tiles. So regardless, you need growth. So that's why growth is really, really important. plantation there. Okay, so I guess that guy died from the city. Make my warrior heal. Bring my outlaw list there. Might be able to kill that hand axe after. What do I want to do with this guy? I think I actually want to bring him to this city, so I can get my stone and iron online. Or the silk. Probably the silk, to be honest. Because even though I already have silk, if I have 2 silk, I can trade with others. And as you can see, only now did someone start building that pantheon. What this means is that the civilization that was winning the faith race before. So you can see if you go here now, we are the leader with 15 faith, as you can see, just like I told you that would happen. That means that these guys are the only ones besides us that right now are generating faith. And the only reason why they're even generating faith is because they're going piety, and piety gives you bonuses to faith. Right here, see? Gives you +1 faith from shrines and temples, or a discount in purchases. Well, I guess if he has +2, that means he's getting extra stuff. Yeah, he built a shrine, basically. That's all he did. So clearly these guys are going for a religion, but we're gonna get a religion much faster. Because we already have 5 faith per turn. And they only now started getting faith. And I'll explain to you guys later when we get a religion, why religion is so important. I mean, it's not that important, to be honest, but it's really helpful. Okay, so the hand axe is over here. Can I kill him? Ooh, my guy got promoted. Awesome. Like I told you, you want to go double accuracy. For instance, right here, we have this plus 33% defense against all ranged attacks. That looks great, right? It sounds better than 2 accuracy promotions. And it probably is, actually. But the thing is, if you go for 3 accuracy promotions, you get more promotions, which are better than going cover. So, that's what we're going to do. I can't kill this guy just yet. So I'm going to move 1 tile, and then I'm going to attack him. Actually, that doesn't make any difference, because, like I said, I already have 30 experience on this guy right now. So I can get more than 30 experience from barbarians. So it's basically useless. Now we got our citrus, that means we have +4 happiness, which means we can start getting more cities. Question is, do I want to found a new city, or do I want to conquer Leventa now? Don't have enough military to conquer Leventa, that's for sure. Alright, we're gonna conquer Leventa. Gonna go for a composite bowman, then we're gonna purchase 1 spearman. That's what we're gonna do. This worker, what do I want you to do? I don't want to chop this jungle for reasons that will come later. So I'm just gonna build a farm over there. You got the mathematics, which is cool. So the catapult, which you don't really need catapults. I mean, they help. They're good against the AI, but if you were playing against players, catapults suck. So don't build them if you're playing against players. But yeah, this courthouse, it's good for occupying cities. So if I took over Leventa, basically, it will have this thing that's like occupied and shit like that. And what that does is it gives us extra unhappiness. But if we put a courthouse there, once we finish the courthouse, that extra unhappiness will be gone, and Leventa will be just like any other city that we've ever captured, that we've ever founded, I mean. So this worker over here, I want you to build more silk. Yeah, build more silk. Get a farm over here, get our spearmen, going towards Leventa. Let me just see if these guys have any workers. They don't. Gonna take a hit, but that's fine. Because if you take hits, you also get extra experience. So that's a good way to farm experience. Petra. Petra's a really good wonder. What it does is it gives you +1 food and +1 production for all desert tiles. So tiles that would normally be really crap, like all of this desert over here, would generally be really crap. But if you have Petra, it becomes really good, because every single one of these hills will give us +1 food and +1 production. So we'll automatically have 1 food and 3 production over here. And then if we build a mine on top of that, we'll have 1 food and 4 production, which is huge amounts of production. it makes the cities really, really good. Research next. What do we want to research next, though? I'm actually considering trapping. Let's go for trapping. Let me see, how long have I been playing this for? Almost 40 minutes now. Definitely something, yeah, that's definitely a while. I'll just do 20 more minutes. Make it another 1 hour recording, I guess. Go to the next turn. Alice was bombarded. As you can see now, we have 32 experience, while before we had 30. Enemy is near. An archer. Well, we're gonna kill him with our city before you can do anything. These enemy units, for instance this stone, we've already improved it. We have a quarry. So if this barbarian comes here, and we don't kill him right away, he can pillage this stone. And basically that will remove our quarry. This stone will go back to being normal stone, like this one that doesn't have a quarry. That doesn't give us +1 production. So we want to make sure that we kill this guy right away. I mean, I can actually bring my spearman back to kill that archer, to get him some experience. Yeah, I want to chop this forest first. And I can just stay here for a bit, just to get some more experience into this atlas. There's no barbarian camps around or anything. Scout is done, so we can explore just a bit more, because we're not gonna conquer Levanta just yet. Palenque can fire, but if I fire I will kill it, but I don't want to kill it, like I said. I want to kill it with a spearman, because that way the spearman gets experience. There you go. And see, when he killed it, he got 5 experience. Normally when you attack, you only get 2 experience. So that's how that works. This caravan is for the trade route. See, if we go to do trade routes... Oh, yeah, great. Just remember, I don't even have a granary in this city, so I can't even do any trade routes whatsoever. Alright. I'm an absolute genius, that's for sure. Well, I'm gonna change the home city. Because by going to Cal over here, I think you can trade with Wellington. We'll see how it is though. So now you have our scout over here, gonna keep exploring around these cities. Only 14 more turns until we get this bonus. Next research, they already researched trapping, that was fast. Let's go for horseback riding, sure. Move on to the next turn. Shaka's completed pyramids, like I said. Let's see. See, now we can actually trade with more people, because these trade routes, they have a range, you know. You can't just have a trade route all the way to bloody England that is all the way over here. It needs to be like closer. So from our capital, we couldn't trade with any of the other people, but now we can. I actually wanted to bring food to my capital, that's what I wanted to do. But to transport food, you need a granary. So yeah, let me just see something real quick. Where's the granary? Well, I can't see here. Allows food to be moved from this city along trade routes inside your empire. How much production do I need? 10 more. I'm getting 3 production per turn. You know what? I'm not gonna trade anything yet. I'm just gonna do nothing for now. And the reason I'm going to do nothing is because, as you saw from here, we have 30 production so far for the 60 that is necessary for a granary. By chopping down these trees, alright, I can do that right now. We get 20 production, so now we have 50 production out of the 60 that we need for the granary. And so now we only need 4 more turns for the granary, and once those 4 turns come, I can send food to my capital. Just perfect. Next turn. Just have the caravan wait. The cow's grown, awesome. It's over here, 2 gold and 2 food. I don't know if I want that. I think I would rather get the production. Yeah, if I get the production, I also do the granary faster, so I definitely want that. Let's just go here. And on top of the hill so we can see more. Okay, so there's not actually that much more over here because there's tundra. Tundra means like we're at the south pole basically of this map. So if you're getting to tundra, that means there's not going to be much more over here. A unit was killed. I am so stupid. I completely forgot about this unit, so of course it got killed. Wow, that is so unfortunate. Yep, guys, this is why you should pay attention when you fortify your units, because when they're fortified, they're just gonna keep fortifying until they're fully healed. But since this guy was taking damage from the city, obviously, eventually, he was going to die because he takes more damage than he can heal. So that's why he died over there, and I completely forgot about him because I wasn't paying attention. Not one of my brightest moments, to be honest. So now let's explore more. I just want to explore over here, see what these guys have. Just a combo. Wait, one more turn and then we can do some trade routes. It's really unfortunate that we lost that Outland list because it was really good. We adopt another policy, extra gold or well, not gold, but extra happiness, which would really help. But also extra gold. Let's go with this. We want the extra happiness because to conquer the city, we need more happiness than normal. Because like I told you, when the cities get conquered, you have extra unhappiness from that city. So we're going to send extra food to our capital. Now our capital is going to grow much quicker. Should definitely be doing more growth tiles here. Also this, great people. Great people are units that are special. Like the Great Prophet that I was just talking about. They have special abilities. If you want me to talk about all the great people, let me think if I can see stuff. This is the Civilopedia. This is where you can look for stuff. Great people. Search. Yeah, there are 9 types of great people. Great artists, great musicians, great writers, great engineers, great merchants, great scientists, great generals, great admirals, and great prophets. So, which of these great people are good? Which of these great people are bad? Well, some of them are just straight up bad, pretty much. The Great Admiral, he sucks. All he can do is, he gives you a slight boost in naval combat, and he can heal your naval units once, and then he dies. Which, I mean, I guess it's useful. You really don't want to be prioritizing Great Admirals, because they're not going to help you much. Great Prophets, really helpful. Without Great Prophets, you can't found a religion, and you generally do want a religion. Great Generals, they're okay. They're definitely better than Great Admirals. They give the same boost as the Great Admirals in terms of extra fighting strength near your units, except Great General is for land units and Great Admiral is for naval units like boats. But not only that, he can do this tile improvement called the Citadel, which for instance, if he was right here and I told him to build a Citadel, I would get a Citadel here, and then everything around the Citadel, one tile around, would become part of my borders. So that's really good sometimes for war because if you're warring your neighbor, you can put a citadel in their land and then you steal a good part of their land. And inside the citadel you have extra combat strength. So it's pretty good for that. For war at least. That's why he's the great general. Then what else do we have? Great scientists. Great scientists are the best great person there is. Like, period. You really want to have a lot of great scientists because great scientists, they can do a tile improvement like the generals called the academy, and the academy gives you +8 science. Now look here in the early game. If we had a great scientist right now, we would have +8 scientist, +8 science, which is what? That's like 1/3 of our overall science right now. That's a big science boost in the early game. But not only that, he can bulb science. So what that means is however much science you did in the past, I think it's either 10 or 15 turns, maybe less. But in an X amount of turns, if you bulb the scientist, it gives you that amount of science immediately. Like the science that you gathered in the last 10 turns, it gives you in that turn. So if you had 1,000 science in the past 10 turns, he will give you 1,000 science. So that's better in the late game, where you're generating a lot of science and things cost like a lot of science. If you go over here to the later science, like telecommunication, costs 8,470 science. You're probably looking at that with our 23 science, thinking, how in the bloody hell are we ever gonna get to telecommunications? But we will get there eventually, I can tell you that. So yeah, eventually, late game, you'll be getting a lot of science, and so bulbing is better. In the early game, you want to get those landmarks because it gives you more raw science. Other than that, great merchants are not really that good. They can do a tile improvement called the customs house, which just gives you plus 5 or plus 6 gold. It's really crap, really doesn't help much at all. Or you can send them to a city state, for instance, right here. You make them do a trade mission, which gives you extra influence with the city state. So, for instance, right here, we're neutral, we would go to like friends, for instance, and they would start giving us rewards. And it would also give us 600 or 900 gold, which you think that's pretty helpful. And I mean, sure, it's helpful, but it's not that helpful, honestly. It really is. They're kind of underwhelming, I guess. Grid engineers are really good. Grid engineers, they speed up whatever you're doing. So let's say I was doing the hanging gardens, right? And then I chose a grid engineer. He can speed up the production so that my hanging gardens go from 25 turns to 1 turn. So yeah, great engineers are really good. They're probably the second best after the great scientists. So you want those. They're really helpful as well. And then not only that, you have the great writers, musicians, and artists. Great writers, musicians, and artists are all for cultural things. If you remember, the Great Library, it gives us these great works of writing slots. What those does is, if you have a great writer, he can make a great work of writing, and the great work of writing goes over here. That great work of writing gives you plus 2 culture and plus 2 tourism, which is kind of underwhelming, you know what I mean? It's not that good. If you're going for a cultural victory, they're really important for sure. And I'll eventually show you guys how to get a good culture victory. Probably when I play either an immortal or deity. But yeah, that's what the great writer does. He can also bulb culture in the same way that scientists can bulb science. So they would give you however many culture you got in the past 10 turns, they would give it to you on that turn, which is really helpful. Other than that, you also have the great artists. The great artists can do a great work of art, which you can see our palace has a great work of art slot. So you can get a great work of art and you can use it, and you can put it in the slot basically. It's gonna come here and wait. I'm gonna be sure to remember to take out my warrior, because I don't want him to die, but I do want him to get the experience. Let's see, what else can I build now that I haven't done with the granary? Oh, this is Tikal. Okay, I thought it was my capital. Could build military, but I don't really want to build military. Actually, I'm gonna build military. Okay, let me just see how long we've been recording this for. Almost an hour, so shortly I will end this part, but not just yet. Mm.
A horse. A horse.
The last great person that I forgot to talk about. Or no, I was talking about the great artist, but I didn't finish. Other than the great art, what the great artist can do besides a great work of art is he can start a golden age, which we haven't seen yet. But a golden age is it gives you extra 1 gold for every tile that produces gold. So this citrus and this silk would give us plus 1 gold while we are in a golden age. Then our production and culture is increased by 20%. It's really helpful. It's really helpful, but it's only for a few turns, and the more you do it, the more it costs. So what that means is right now, our golden age, we're doing progress because to get a golden age, you need excess happiness. And as you can see, we need 500 excess happiness to get to our first golden age. Right now, we only have 6 excess happiness, which isn't much. It isn't much at all. So it takes a while to get to the golden age. But if we had a great artist and we used it, the next time we would get to the golden age, it wouldn't cost 500. It would cost 750 or 1,000. So it always increases the cost for those golden ages. And not only that, it also each time you use it, I believe, it lowers the amount of turns that the golden age will last, or at least it will last in terms of the great artist ones. Natural golden ages, they always last the same amount, I believe, 15 or 10 turns. I believe it's 15 turns. But then the great artist, if the first one will give you 12 turns of Golden Age, the next one will only give you 10 or 9, and so on and so forth. And the last great person is the great musician, which gives a great work of music, which does the same thing as all the other great works. But he can also perform a concert tour, which is like, I would go over here, and he would perform a concert tour, which would give me 20% of my current tourism I would send to that city immediately. So it's for tourism victories as well. So those three are generally for tourism victories. You don't need them for much else. The Zulu is about to make a city. Whoa, this is gonna get spicy, boys. It's gonna get real spicy. I'm not gonna let this guy just make a city. No way in hell. This music, though, very suspense-like. Gonna bring my scout up as well. I have to be careful though with fucking Zulu. Let me just check. How long has this been going on? 55 minutes. You know, I think I'm gonna end this turn here. I'm gonna save this game over here. Maya, first game, difficulty 5-6 free for all, real simple. And that's it for today, guys. If you like the video, give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. I will keep putting out these videos for the Zero to Hero series, teaching you how to play Civ 5 from the very start. I will teach you everything there is to teach about Civ 5. Well, not everything, but a lot of things. Not the more complicated stuff. I will probably teach you those in the later parts, but it depends. I'll probably teach you some more complex things in this series as well. But there will be useful complex things. Like, I guess understanding everything the great people do is slightly complex. It's not very complex, but you know what I mean. Versus terrain and the defense bonuses that I was explaining before, like going on top of hills gives you 25% defense. That's pretty advanced. I didn't even know that was a thing until like my 6th playthrough, and I only learned that because I watched some other videos that taught me that. So yeah, stuff like that I will teach you. But yeah, guys, if you like the video, give it a like. If you want to see more videos, subscribe, and I'll keep putting out content. So see you guys next time.